Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Unconditional Self-Love with myself, Tilly Reid. I hope you are well. I'm feeling okay. I've had one of those crazy weeks at work where there's been a few people on annual leave. So it's been me kind of covering lots of other jobs, and then I had an interview yesterday, and you add on to that rehearsals and other things. And so it's been a lot, but it's Saturday today. And so I get the chance to chill. So I hope you're having a nice, or can have a nice chill day. If not today, then at some point in the future, because it's really important that we find the time to rest and properly rest as well. So what am I going to talk about today? Today, I thought I would get back to basics. I mean, I'm saying basics. It's certainly not basic, but I wanted to talk about the name of my podcast, Unconditional Self-Love. What does self-love mean? What does it mean to you? What does it mean to me? What the things I did to sort of help me in that way. So I'm just going to start off with, I basically just put into Google self-love. I think I put in, what does self-love mean? And I just want to read it to you, because I think this is a really good sentence of what it means. So here we go. Self-love is a state of deep appreciation and high regard for your own well-being, happiness, and personal growth. It means actively meeting your own physical, psychological, and spiritual needs rather than sacrificing your happiness to please others. I mean, that's it in a nutshell, really. Deep appreciation and high regard for your own well-being, happiness, and personal growth. And I think personal growth is a good part of that. And I know I've focused a lot on that. But I think it was brilliant. When I read that, I was like, yeah, that's it. That's literally it. But, how do we even do that? How do we even start? I know for me, my own journey it's been a long journey. It's been a very long journey. And I don't even know when it started. It was one of those things that, throughout my younger years, I had so much going on. I was diagnosed with depression. I got put on antidepressants at one point. I think I was going through another phase of it, but didn't really want to go on them. I didn't really like what the drugs did to me. I know they do a lot for people, and God take them if they really are. But for me, I didn't like how they made me feel. And I just got to a point where I thought, is this it? Is this life? I just feel a bit flat, a bit meh, a bit like I didn't really know what I was doing. I wanted this big acting career, and it sort of wasn't really doing what I wanted it to. It wasn't really giving me what I wanted. It wasn't fulfilling me in the way that I thought it was going to fulfill me when I achieved that dream. And so I was like, I found myself at this place, where you hit sort of not rock bottom. I think there was sort of many times when I sort of came back round to feeling rubbish, and then kind of pulled myself out, and then went back round to feeling rubbish and pull myself out. And, that happens. God, we are human beings, and, I think we will always find that in life. Different things come up, and that's fine. But it's, it's how we deal with it. But it definitely got to a certain point in my life where I thought, enough is enough. I'm done. I'm done feeling like this. I'm done feeling crap. Something needs to change. And it was around, I want to say, end of 2018 into 2019. It was that sort of time. I know it was after I'd done a couple of acting tours and things, and was suddenly like, oh, what? I've got my dream and I still don't feel good. So I was like, right, okay. I was living in a place that I didn't particularly, it was horrible. It was like a shared accommodation. It was awful. So I remember thinking to myself, if I can make myself, if I can get happy, joyful in this, where I am now, not doing the job I want, not living where I want, I had lots of other good things going on. I thought, I've cracked it. Right. Okay. Where do I even start? And I dabbled with things like meditation and things like that, but I thought, okay, it does seem to be consistency is better with this things. And at that point, I couldn't do it for very long. I think I did maybe a couple of minutes, but I did it every single day. That eventually grew to 5 minutes, eventually 10 minutes, but I didn't give myself any kind of pressure to be like, this needs to be like half an hour. Nope. I just did it every day. I just took those moments, just quiet moments by myself, and that's what I started doing. So that was kind of the beginning for me, and then other things kind of came along, and it ended up, over the years, obviously after that, COVID happened and I was furloughed. And this was sort of a blessing in disguise for me. It suddenly meant that I was on my own, living in a flat on my own with nothing to do. And I was like, what do I do? And I went deep. I went deep into the spiritual world. I was just reading lots. I was journaling lots. I was just staying really curious. And I remember my words at the time were curiosity and consistency. Those are the two things that came up for me, because curiosity is so important when it comes to this stuff. You've got to be curious. You've got to be like, well, okay, well, I feel like this, but why do I feel like this? There's got to be a reason, read things, listen podcasts. I think they are just amazing. I listen to them, hence, you're listening to this, so you probably do like them. But there's a wealth of podcasts out there, that are just full of information. There's loads of amazing videos on YouTube. Like, I just tried to just take it all in as much as I could. And I was having these unreal realizations of just like, oh my God, I get it. I get it. I get the meaning of life. I get why I feel this way. Oh my God, I feel this way because of this. And, and it was just this magical unfolding of things that just kind of occurred over I think it was a few years after that. I was just like, oh my gosh. And it's certainly not an easy journey. Certainly not being like, oh, it was all wonderful and joyful. Sometimes you do have to look at your past and go, oh, okay, I reacted in a way that maybe I didn't like, but it is, again, it's about that awareness and that self-love and self-respect to go, that was past versions of me. Past versions of me only knew what I knew in that moment. The way I reacted or what I did in past versions of me, I couldn't have reacted to that the way I do. I wouldn't have reacted the same now, because I'm not the same person now, because we all evolve and grow. We all evolve. That's what I want with this work, with this self-love work. It's evolving, it's growing. It's not just staying just where you are. It's like going, okay, well, this isn't right. I want to look at this, staying curious. So what does self-love mean to me? It means going deep. Yeah. It means going into those places that you don't want to go, looking at those shadows. They call it shadow work in the spiritual world. And it's looking at those shadows that you're like, oh, I don't want to look at that. Because a lot of the time we react to things. When you have a big reaction to something, whatever, anger, tears, whatever it is, often it's something in your subconscious causing that reaction, that conscious reaction. And it's not until you start delving into your unconscious kind of world and having a little dig around in there that you suddenly go, oh, that's why I react badly to that. Okay, I see. And it's not like it stops that reaction. It's just you become so much more aware of it. And then in time, you can sort of see it as it's happening. And I have this sort of amazing ability now to be like, oh, yep, I see what I'm doing. I'm kind of almost laughing at myself, I laugh, I laugh, and I'm like, oh, you see, I'm reacting, I'm being angry, and you can kind of pull yourself back out of that. It's honestly, it's magical work. It's finding a deep awareness, a real awareness in that body. If you've never done body mind work, maybe you've done yoga. That's often a good way in. But it's that connection between your body and your mind and having that awareness, because sometimes reactions are physical. We get physical reactions in our body, and it's being aware of that and going, oh, I feel, my stomach doesn't feel great. Maybe it's because of this. It's setting boundaries. Maybe you're somebody that just says yes to everything. Yes, of course I'll do that. And then you're like, actually, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I'm learning that recently. I've said yes to a few things which unfortunately have all kind of come quite close together. And I'm like, oh, damn it. Why have I said yes to all those things? Lesson learned. It's, realizations. When you get those moments of realization where something just lands for you, like, feel that. Feel it when it lands. Journal it. I'm a big fan of journaling. Journaling for me gets things out of me, gets things on a page. It helps me formulate ideas. I also like to talk out loud. I live on my own. That's very easy to do. I like to just talk things out. For me, that's a way I process things and stuff comes up for me. It's about accepting who you are and where you are in that moment, where, like, it's not about perfection. Absolutely not. Self-love isn't about being this perfect version of you with a perfect body, the perfect career, the perfect relationship, and it's like, oh, when I get all those things, then I'll love myself. Oh, no. It's about loving the imperfect version of you, because we are all imperfect. And the sooner you realize that, the easier it gets, because that's just the way it is. We are all flawed in our own ways. We're all just trying to just get on with things and get on with life and get through challenges that may crop up. And for me, a big aspect of it was finding my joy. I know that especially when I was going through depression, I lost my joy. And I remember just feeling flat and joyless. And I was just like, oh, this sucks. And it was concentrating on that and being able to find joy in those smaller moments. It's amazing to have those big moments, those holidays, those events that you go to. Absolutely. And I think it can look like everyone's doing that, especially if you're on social media. You can be like, oh my God, everyone's going out for nice meals or doing all these fun things. It's not the case. You're just seeing the highlight reel. But you've got to take that joy from all those other little things. Hence why I do my 3 moments of joy at the end of this podcast. I think it is really good to be able to just focus on that, focus on those small pockets of joy. So, I've done so much of this work over the years. It's kind of come and gone as it has. I am flawed. But I think the main thing to remember is it's not selfish. I know a lot of people think, oh, well, if I'm just thinking about me, that's very self-involved. That's very, I'm not thinking about my family. I'm not thinking about this, that, the other. No, it actually has the opposite effect. The more you can look after yourself, the more then you can give to others, the more capacity you have for others and things that you can do for other people. Like, it is incredible. It is an ongoing practice that sometimes can sound a little scary when you say, yes, you'll be doing this probably forever if that's something you're interested in, but there's no destination. But actually, that's the beauty of this work. You continue to have these realizations and stuff that comes up for you. And the beauty of it is it has a knock-on effect for other areas of your life. I think one of the big things I noticed that when I started to do this work, I was like delving into things, doing all, reading things, journaling, having realizations, aha moments. And suddenly I wanted to exercise more. I wanted to eat more healthily. And these were just really natural, just knock-on effects. Like I wasn't trying, it wasn't like I was going, right, okay, I need to suddenly eat more healthy than I am. Nope. It was just something that evolved naturally because I wanted to do it, because I had a respect for myself. And what is self-love isn't positive affirmations. It is and it isn't. There's a place for them. I've certainly used them. They are used in meditations. They are used in breath work. They are not sort of the be all and end all. They are kind of a small part of this sort of wider picture. And if you are not in the right frame of mind, body, space, they're just words. They are just words. If you are not truly feeling it in your body, they would just be words. It won't make that much difference. And then you just get frustrated because you're like, oh, why isn't it making much difference? I don't feel any better. So yes, there is a time and place for them. I'm certainly not saying don't use them, but it is about you being responsible then. You can sit there and say, I am enough. I am worthy. I am joyful. Great. But do you believe it? Maybe you don't believe it. And if you don't believe it on that unconscious level, it's not going to hit home. But then you have to take the responsibility of doing the work to be able to go, oh, yeah, okay. Then you can kind of go in and start to implement those positive affirmations. And and when it lands, oh my God, it is, honestly, it's just such a beautiful moment. But this, I'm just a gentle reminder, is your own journey. My journey might not look like your journey and anybody else's. It's all unique. I know people that have other practices that they do. For me, I love meditating. I love breath work and journaling and reading and being curious and listening to podcasts. And I try and do gratitude every evening. Like, for me, I know that these are my staples that I do, but they might not work for you. Stay curious, find out what does work for you, and just give it a go. Just give it a go. I mean, literally, what have you got to lose? And I think that was the point where I was at, where I was like, oh my God, I feel so crap. What have I got to lose by trying this? Like, literally nothing. Nothing. I felt so bad. I thought, okay, well, if not, I've just learnt a new skill. I don't know. But no, that didn't happen. Something wonderful happened. And I hope that you will you're on your journey, or you might start your self-love journey. But honestly, it's probably one of the best things that I've ever done. So I'd like to encourage you all to just start, because you are worth it. We're all worth it. And we're all on this crazy journey, this crazy life that we're in. God, we need to find these gorgeous pockets of joy. And on that note, I'm going to leave you for this week. So take care of yourselves, and I will speak to you next week. Bye. Hello and welcome back. Here are my 3 joys this week. Number 1 was, it was the other morning, I was driving to work, and it was a gorgeous sunny day, and there was an absolute banger on the radio. Can't remember what song it was now. I had the window down, I was singing, and honestly, is it, I mean, it's just something so joyful, like singing in your car. I look around and I'm like, everyone looks really miserable in the car. I'm like singing away. I must look like a right idiot, but I really don't care. Like, sing as loud as you can, okay? That's my permission to you. Number 2, a cold ice cream on a hot day. There's a theme this week. It's been really, really sunny here. So, yeah. Oh, that cold ice cream. I don't really buy ice cream at home. I don't really keep it a lot at home. But it's more like, when I'm out, go and buy some really nice ice cream when you're in town and people watch. Oh, yeah. Lovely. And number 3, finally being listened to at your GP surgery. So this week I had an appointment with my surgery to discuss my perimenopausal symptoms. And I've been in a few times with the symptoms and been dismissed, blood tests, you're all normal. Finally, this week, I got listened to. And they've prescribed me HRT. And honestly, I could have cried. I could have cried tears of joy because I was like, finally, someone is listening to me. Yeah, honestly, I cannot wait. So I'm gonna be starting them next week, getting the old patches on, and seeing how that goes. But yeah, that's such a good feeling. But yeah, so have a great week, everyone. Bye.